Hello and welcome. US star John Savage, who co-starred in iconic films like Hair, The Onion Field, Salvador and The Deerhunter, took time out from his growing movie and TV career back in the 1990s to become an anti-apartheid activist in South Africa. His friendship with Nelson Mandela assisted in getting the president's support for Spike Lee's controversial film Malcolm X, starring Denzel Washington. But John's always been prepared to take on roles in difficult and often provocative films. On a recommendation from Robert DeNiro, director Michael Cimino cast him opposite De Niro, Meryl Streep and Christopher Walken in the Oscar-winning The Deerhunter. So when Oliver Stone offered him a role in the 1986 film Salvador, set in the midst of a US-supported military dictatorship and civil revolution, John was up for the challenges. Based on a true story, the film starred James Wood and Jim Belushi, but I had the opportunity to talk to John shortly after Salvador was released, and, not surprisingly, he had firm views about the political realities of the conflict.
Did you meet the person that your character was based on? Did you have a chance to?
No, but he was kind of an idol. He became a symbol for my generation as far as the media and the type of person that is in my age group in the media now. I don't believe he was politically biased one way or the other. He had a feeling for his work, and he was a kind of more relaxed kind of guy than
the impression that what you convey.
You're talking about the character, the man of John Hoagland.
Yeah.
Being the model for the character of John Cassidy in the movie, although there was no real incident there to tie the two together.
Right.
Yeah, John Hoagland was a model for John Cassidy.
Yeah, because the character came across as a very professional person, whereas the James Wood character, although he was obviously professional up to a point, he was wilder and disorganized and crazier.
That is the real Richard Boyle.
Is it?
Yeah.
You obviously met him.
He was with the film. He worked on the script with Oliver.
Did he?
Wrote the script with Oliver. Oliver wrote the script with him.
But he was quite like that, was he?
Yeah.
Was it a physically difficult film to make at all? I mean, it was shut down in Mexico, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it had its physical demands for everybody, but it was exciting. It was okay.
What sort of physical demands?
Just the environment was kind of rough. Travel wasn't easy.
How far down in Mexico were you?
We were all the way in the jungle. We were all the way
right down that southern extremity of it.
And inland from Acapulco up there in the interior, and then when we went up to the mountains for a while, up to the magical area. I forgot the name of it. Depozlan and Cuernavaca.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's a popular area. Depozlan was beautiful with its Aztec temples and things. High steps built a quarter of a mile up on the top of this
mountaintop,
like cliffy, rocky plateau area, and then the jungle going up there. Beautiful village down below.
Obviously you were looked after very well down there. But I understand, I've met the people, I think it was the year before last, the Americans who made a film called El Norte. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Because they were down in that area too, and they found that there was, and apart from the fact that there were people coming across the border there was a very strong consciousness among the people in that area about what they were doing. And in fact, they were hassled. They were hassled by the Mexican secret police when they were shooting films. They had film taken from them and all sorts of things. Really weird things happened.
Mm-hmm.
Did you any of that sort of thing happen to you at all? Not specifically you, but I mean to the production team.
No. The company ran out of money about halfway through because the banking was poorly planned, I guess. I don't understand how it worked, but simply they converted their money, their investment funds to pesos by putting them in the Mexican banks the way they did. And at that time, the peso was maybe around 200 peso to the American dollar, and it went from there to 4. And so, or less than 2 to 4. So they just
Stop shooting?
Stop paying people, and we didn't stop shooting.
Oh, so the production actually continued all the way through.
Yeah. And
enforced deferrals, was it?
Yeah, everybody finally got covered by John Dale and Hemdale.
They picked it up eventually, because they weren't involved initially, were they?
They were, no, not in the original production. They picked up the distribution and the final.
What? I mean, as far as your understanding of Oliver Stone's approach to the whole thing, what really was he trying to say to the film? Was he warning America about what was happening? Was he warning President Reagan, or was he simply? I mean, obviously he was telling a story to entertain and so on, but within that,
I think with his sense of storytelling, he was trying to avoid telling a story and making it any kind of a point at all, making it any kind of a political statement at all. Basically just trying to show through the nature of the characters involved, from simplistic to imbecilic at times, in their chaotic lifestyles and lack of compassion seemingly for what they were doing, the pure professionalism in their involvement there, when actually they're deeply committed to the point of their position in the media of representing the truth of the activity and the conflict, which is a difficult place to be, and also to, I think, show the difficulty in the political system that we have in our country of trying to become in some way involved and effective. The diplomacy, the diplomatic red tape, the conflicts within the personalities, the distance. I mean, from the president's office to El Salvador, there's a big distance, and I think that's one of the humorous aspects of the film. Without being humorous, it was farcical in a sense, and I think without making comments politically, it was just a statement of fact and reality, and I think it should be appreciated for that. That it has its humor, its bitter humor.
Absolutely.
And without becoming at all sarcastic, or about the truth that there are these people that we say we wish to care about or become involved with or somehow protect ourselves from the effect that they might be experiencing, or something like that. We're interested in their human beings and their neighbors. And it's I think it's
so when it gets down to it, the government is almost totally compromising.
That's the nature of government, I think, at least ours. And that's one of the reasons it's not fallen apart yet. I think, I don't know, but I think it's the structure of our government is, I think, somewhere it might state that it's based on chaos and conflict and confusion, so that it will work. But the idea of military supporting systems is a simple and clear, quick idea for any kind of involvement in security anywhere, quote unquote. But there's other steps to be followed after that. So hopefully, people's interest and concern, that'll continue to happen. Although, of course, the first step has been really hazardous, atrocious catastrophe, completely inhuman. in its entirety. It was savage, awful. Happened before in the 30s. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people just slaughtered because of their assumed political position.
You're talking about Europe.
I'm talking about Central America.
Central America as well.
It happened in the 30s. They slaughtered, and they did it again. It's covered up pretty well, but, you know, that's life, I guess.
On a personal basis.
And I say that facetiously.
You say facetiously.
It's horrible. I think it's just ridiculous. Stupid.
On a personal basis, do you believe that, for instance, your government should be supporting the Contras and to whatever it's $100 million of financial and military aid and so on?
I don't think that form of support is in any way as important as our humane political human beings involvement. I think that, just putting it on that kind of this level of thought and discussion and repartee. I mean, we've got ways of blocking or stopping any kind of political behavior we feel in our country that is contradictory to our principles by boycotting or somehow.
You mean non-militaristic?
So my feeling is, my question is, what is the concern, really? What is the fear? What is the concern for our involvement? And by supplying military funds, what are we actually achieving, or what are we contributing to? I don't think it's a good idea.
And a little bit of trivia. John's real name was John Smealy Youngs, and John's former brother-in-law was actor Robert Duvall, who was married to his sister Gail Youngs from 1982 to 1986.